So we get a lot of questions about how to add pronouns to Microsoft Teams. So we thought we'd do this explanatory video just to show you how to do it. It's very easy in Zoom, but MS Teams, it's a little bit more indirect, shall we say. So I'm showing you inside of our Microsoft admin, and I'll show you the steps that you can take to add. There's two different pathways, so I will show you one first that's a little bit simpler, that's a little bit more controlled by the admin, and then one that you can allow the employees themselves to change it. So first off, the more admin controlled approach is to go to whatever the username is. In this case, Nico is sadly without his pronouns, so let's change that for him. And so you go to his profile within the admin setup, and you go down to manage contact information. In particular, we're looking at the display name, and that we can quickly add based on his input. So we're never guessing, but we will add it for him once he's provided that detail. And I know that he uses he, him pronouns. So we put that in brackets after his last name and then save from there. And then it'll be reflected pretty much everywhere within any Microsoft application, which is great. Another way, if you don't want to manage that by yourself, you can set up, now this is a new feature in Microsoft, not sure how long now, but maybe a year or so. And basically if you go to the side panel here, you go to Setup and scroll down, you will see this option of Add Pronouns, which if you check, that allows them to add it themselves. And you can manage that here and then check off Turn on and Allow Pronouns, which basically I'll then show you in Microsoft Teams what that looks like. Okay, now we've switched into Microsoft Teams itself, and this is where you can make the change even while you're on a call. If you go to People, you will be able to see a list of the people, and you'll be able to click on yourself. For myself, I'm going to change my pronouns. You already see the pronouns listed for me, but that's through the first method that I just told you about. Now I'm going to show you the second method of being able to change on your own, and we'll be able to see the difference between the two. And so it's not quite as good as this one. But you can see here when you double click on there, you can see a plus sign and pronouns. So when we press on that, we'll be given different options, and it's a fill in the blank, which is great, but there's also some pre-selected ones that you can easily click on and then save. Now, I wanted to briefly tell you the differences between the two different approaches. So you will see that the he, him pronouns that I just provided in the pronoun avenue does not show up right away in the way that it does, say, for example, on Zoom. This right now that's visible is from the other way that I did. And so you'll only be able to see them when you hover over somebody's name. And so I'm going to try to do that here in a way that you can see. And then you can see, oh, okay, it's Kai Scott, he, him pronouns in blue below. So I actually prefer the first technique that I showed you because it then is visible directly in the display name, which you'll see without having to hover. So hopefully you can see the differences between the two different approaches, and the admin avenue is much better, in my opinion, than the hover over technique. So just there's two different ways. They each have kind of their pros and cons, but this other way, the display name one, is probably the most effective to be able to see it right away. Hopefully that was helpful, and you'll be able to now to add your pronouns into Microsoft Teams if you so wish. And all the best. Thank you so much for listening.